Welcome to WrestleMania Rewind for Night 2 of WrestleMania 2. And like Night 1, we would kick things off with a Battle Royal. This one, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 20 male superstars competing in this one. We would have one competitor not representing WWE or WCW, and that would be Logan Paul. Logan making his return to the Open Mic universe for the first time since last year's WrestleMania, where he fell in defeat to LA Knight. That year-long hiatus paid off for Paul, as you can definitely tell that he had worked on his craft, learned some new holds. Also saw the in-ring return of Sami Zayn in this one. But Paul came into this one not looking to merely make an appearance at WrestleMania. He showed up here looking to win this Andre Memorial Battle Royal. He would make it down to the final two between himself and Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross kind of in a position where he really needed this win. He needed something to kind of shock his career back on path. But unfortunately for him, he ran into somebody who was looking to make his first big WrestleMania moment. And he would, as Logan Paul, the winner of WrestleMania 2's Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Then it was time for the Intercontinental title. It would be the Viper, Randy Orton, challenging Solo Sikoa. Solo defending the Intercontinental title for the first time. If you'll remember, he won that title back at Elimination Chamber from LA Knight. Little side note, did have a little bit of help from not only Paul Heyman, but also the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And Orton, no stranger to the Bloodline. He has definitely had his fair share of run-ins with many members of the Bloodline over the last, I'd say maybe 6 months or so. He zeroed in on Solo coming out of Elimination Chamber and definitely made it a point to be the first one to get a shot at Solo. And Solo, you know, we've seen here in our universe, he's had 2 runs as United States champion, first time as Intercontinental champion, but he is in there with somebody who has won every possible title there is to win on the WWE side. And what was the very first title that Randy Orton won? It was the Intercontinental title. But that's technically in an alternate universe. This is the Open Mic universe. He's not held the Intercontinental title in this one. But, again, Randy Orton, one of those guys, kind of like Seth Rollins, always delivers big at WrestleMania. Someone who has made a career out of making WrestleMania moments. And here tonight on Night 2 of WrestleMania 2, he would make one more as he would defeat Solo Sikoa and become the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. It's going to be kind of interesting to see where the Viper goes, who he might strike next. Then we had an Extreme Rules match between Zelina Vega and Raquel Rodriguez. This feud has been ongoing and just brewing and brewing and brewing over the last handful of months. Really got started back before the Royal Rumble when Raquel would turn on her friend Zelina and, in a sense, kind of replace Zelina in the LWO. Zelina has tried to get revenge. She has tried to make Raquel pay. And when we see these moments, whether it's on a Nitro or a Thunder, Zelina kind of ends up with the upper hand in those situations. But then when the lights get bright and we've got a huge match on a pay-per-view, for whatever reason, she just can't get past Raquel Rodriguez. Even with this being an Extreme Rules match, Zelina still comes up short as Raquel Rodriguez would get the win. And once again, upstage, Zelina Vega on a big stage. Then it was time for the WCW United States Championship. The challenger, Big Bronson Reed, answering Drew McIntyre's challenge of anyone that thought that they were man enough to step up and try to take the title from the Scottish psychopath. Big Bronson Reed answered that challenge, and probably the biggest threat that Drew McIntyre has faced to this point as WCW United States Champion. But the one thing we've kind of seen from Drew has had a lot of success in our universe. He's been a WCW television champion, WCW World Heavyweight Champion coming into last year's WrestleMania. But the one thing that Drew McIntyre does, maybe better than anyone, is he knows how to play the game outside of the lines, playing those mind games, getting that mental advantage before going into a big match or a big event. And he does it maybe better than anybody. And in this situation, Bronson, I'd say, seemed to be more prepared coming in, but in the end, Drew McIntyre would come out victorious and get the win, retaining the WCW United States Championship. And now the question is, Bronson Reed couldn't get the job done. Who might be next to step up to the Scottish psychopath? Then we had a ladder match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship between the long feuding Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. No love lost between these two at all. Santos, a former WCW Cruiserweight champion, but that was way back within probably the first 4 or 5 months of the universe in year one. It's been a while since Santos has tasted championship glory. And we've seen too from Dom. Dom has had a lot of success in ladder matches. He actually unified the WWE and WCW Cruiserweight titles in a ladder match back at Halloween Havoc. Now, if you really evaluate everything that's gone on with the LWO, whether it be the original group or now the new group as we see it today, I don't know that anybody has been more directly affected by all of it than Santos Escobar. Sure, the other former members of the group, whether it be Cruz del Toro or Joaquin Wilde, yeah, they were affected. Zelina Vega definitely affected. You see how everything's kind of played out with Raquel Rodriguez and the ending of their friendship and all that other stuff. But if you remember, all of this started around Santos Escobar. They turned on him. That was the first domino to fall, and every other domino that fell after that was a result of what Dom and his despicable dad did to Santos. And so this has been building up and brewing for months and months and months. And finally, here on the biggest night of the year, Santos Escobar gets some retribution, gets some revenge, and gets to enjoy the sweet victory of winning the WCW Cruiserweight Championship here at WrestleMania 2. Then it was time for our WWE Women's Championship match. Former champion Becky Lynch taking on Bianca Belair. We saw back at Elimination Chamber, Becky earned this opportunity, having to make her way through 5 of the best that the WWE has to offer. And as a little added bonus, also an opportunity to take on the woman who took that WWE Women's Championship from her back at Starrcade. Becky Lynch has been a great champion in our universe, not only on the WWE side, but also the WCW side. She's a former 2-time WCW Women's Champion. She was the woman to end the 14-month reign of Lita as WWE Women's Champion. But the EST Bianca Belair was not about to just hand the title back. She was going to make Becky earn it. Bianca has clawed and scratched and fought just to try to win her first championship in our universe. It took nearly a year and a half before finally winning her first title back at Starrcade. She was even last year's Royal Rumble winner, faced Lita here at WrestleMania 1, and she didn't get the job done. That's maybe a little harsh, but it's the truth. And so she was looking to do whatever she had to walk out with her WWE Women's Championship. Unfortunately for her, it was Becky's night, as Becky would get the 1, 2, 3 and come away with the victory. Hell of a match. These two definitely, I don't think we've seen the end of the Becky and Bianca story. Then it was time for our WWE Tag Team title match. It was a triple threat tornado tag match between the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Usos, and Imperium. This match originally supposed to be the Usos taking on Imperium, but Jimmy and Jay found themselves on the bad end of a beatdown by the debuting Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Found out that came at the direct order of the tribal chief, and his whole reasoning was that Jimmy and Jay didn't get his permission or his blessing to challenge Imperium. So he used his political power as the head of the table to get the newest members of the Bloodline in that match. Eventually, though, we would see the Usos make a return, and WWE officials would add them to the match, which is why this became a triple threat tag match. WrestleMania 2, not a great event for the Bloodline, as we saw Roman lose the WWE World Heavyweight title on night 1. Solo lose the WWE Intercontinental title here on night 2. But the newest members of the Bloodline find a way to walk out of WrestleMania as the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Then it was time for kind of a special grudge match, special attraction match. The Beast, Brock Lesnar, taking on Cody Rhodes. Brock, who was suspended back at SummerSlam. We saw there was a backstage altercation between Brock and WWE officials. That altercation got physical, and because of it, Brock was suspended indefinitely. He was also stripped of the Money in the Bank briefcase. And we didn't hear a thing out of Brock. We didn't hear any sort of update from the officials from the WWE. We had no idea how long this suspension was going to last, what the parameters were for Brock to come back. But all that changed in the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, as Brock would be an uninvited guest on multiple programs across the open mic universe. First showing up on Nitro, attacking Bobby Roode, and then he would show up on Raw. He showed up on Thunder. He showed up on SmackDown. And really no rhyme or reason as to who or why he was attacking who he was attacking. Eventually, he would attack Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov went to the WWE, begged for Brock to get reinstated just so he could get Brock in the ring. Valiant effort from Dragunov, but was unsuccessful in Brock's return match. And we kind of wondered, would anybody step up and try to put a stop to the Beast? And that question would eventually be answered, as it would be the returning Cody Rhodes. We hadn't seen Cody since he lost the WWE World Heavyweight title at the Royal Rumble, but he showed up to not only defend the WWE, but also defend the open mic universe as a whole. And he was victorious here, putting down the Beast. And now that he's back, you got to know he's got to have his eyes on LA Knight, the WWE World Heavyweight title, or possibly maybe the WCW title. The draft is coming up. Maybe Cody finds himself back on the WCW roster. And then we close things out with our main event for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, Despicable Rey Mysterio. He would take on the phenomenal AJ Styles. Rey, who, like we talked about earlier, if you guys haven't been keeping up, had a change of character over the last few months. Maybe his true character, some would say, as we have seen probably the most shocking heel turn since Bash at the Beach 1996, when Hulk Hogan turned his back on all of his Hulkamaniacs and joined the NWO. But since Rey has made that change in character, things have actually started going really well for Rey. He won the men's Elimination Chamber match to earn this opportunity in the main event of WrestleMania. And the same can be said for Raquel Rodriguez and Dirty Dom as well. Dom, as we saw earlier in the night, did fall to Santos and lose the Cruiserweight title. But Rey, who's been a great Cruiserweight champion in our universe, but he just has not been able to win the big one. And we came into this one wondering, would tonight be the night? Could he finally find a way to climb that championship mountain and become World Heavyweight Champion? So many near falls in this one. Both guys doing a great job of showcasing WCW here in what I consider the marquee match of the entire two-night WrestleMania, the opportunity to close out night 2. Dom would distract AJ just long enough to give his dad an opportunity to try and capitalize. Rey would hit a frog splash off the top rope. Wouldn't be enough to get the 3 count, but he would go back and hit one more, hook the leg, and come away with a huge victory here in our main event of night 2. Rey Mysterio, Despicable Rey, is your new WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below, and let me know which night do you think was the better night. Was it night 1, night 2? Both nights ended with new World Heavyweight Champions. Since you guys made it to the end of the video, let's have a little bit of fun. If you liked the video, share it with a friend. If you didn't like the video, share it with 2 people you don't like. Thank you guys so much again for watching. We'll see you next time.